Hi everyone, I'm Gina K from Gina K Designs and your host of StampTV. And I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great day with family and friends. Today on StampTV, I'm so excited to introduce a new product to you. This is something that we started working on in the fall just for our Black Friday weekend. And this is something that you're just going to love. Introducing our brand new Sentimental Bouquet mini kit. This stamp kit is designed for both new stampers and experienced stampers alike. But this is the perfect gift for anybody in your life who's thinking about getting into stamping or who you'd like to get into stamping. Maybe it's your mom, your grandmom, sister, daughter, or best friend, and you want to give them a little taste of stamping. This kit contains everything you need to make beautiful cards and projects. So let me show you what's inside this kit. First, it comes in a nice box that they can keep all the parts of their kit in. Then, we have 6 Gina K Designs exclusive die ink cubes. And the colors in this collection are grass green, black onyx, blue lagoon, wild dandelion, lipstick, and wild wisteria. Then you get an acrylic block, and this is my favorite acrylic block. This one is by Apple Pie Memories, and it is an ergonomic block. It has finger grip bevels so that it's comfortable to use while you're stamping. And the square design allows for greetings to go across, and also it will fit every single stamp in this stamp set. Then we have this adorable little sticky dot runner. Check this out. You guys know how much I love the dot style runners because they're very forgiving. If you lay something down, you have a minute to lift it up and reposition it, which is great for beginners. And this is just enough to get started and make quite a few cards. It has its own little cap. I have one open here that I can show you. It has its own little cap that's attached, so you just unclick it like that, and then when you're not using it, you can click it back closed to protect the end of it so the tape doesn't come out. And this is by ThermoWeb, one of my favorite companies for sticky products. So this comes in the kit. Then you have this. We have 10 Gina K Designs white envelopes. We have 10 pre-cut and pre-scored white card bases. And you have an assortment pack of pre-cut layers. Now I know that we do lots of layering in more experienced stamp card projects, but this is all pre-cut, so you have these panels and then these layers and these strips and these layers that are perfectly cut so they can create layered parts on their cards. And I just love this new stamp set. Check this out. This is called Sentimental Bouquet. And this is full of nice, bold, floral images, greetings for all occasions, from get well and thinking of you to thank you, happy birthday, and with sympathy. These are the types of cards that card makers make most often, and this is going to allow a beginner stamper or a more experienced stamper to have a wide variety of greetings for their collection. This stamp is really fun. It's a smudge background, so you can do a nice splotch of ink color and then stamp flowers on top of it. So I'm going to show you some cards that I made using that. So this is all of the components of the kit. The best part of this kit is the price point. This kit is yours for only $39, and you get tons of reusable tools, including the ink pads, the acrylic block, the stamp set, and you certainly will have some tape left over. So, with that being said, I want to show you a card project. So let's take a couple pieces of cardstock out of here. We're going to take a card base, and I'm going to fold that card base, and you can see that's scored nicely so there's no cracking on the edge. I'm going to grab an envelope because this will be my first card and envelope project. Then I'm going to open up these pieces. Now you get 10 of all 4 of these pieces, so there's 40 pieces in here. I'm going to take one card panel and a black panel, and one strip panel and a black panel. And of course, if you do decide to buy this kit for the beginner in your life, you can direct them over to StampTV and they can watch this video and learn their very first card project today. All right, so I'm going to put these other pieces back in the box here because I have my own. And here's my acrylic block and my very well-loved stamp set. And then I keep my ink cubes in one of these Tim Holtz tins. They also fit distress inks and all kinds of other ink pads that you might have. So let's see what we're going to do here. All right, we'll grab those ink pads and we're going to start with this little strip. All right, so to begin, I'm going to grab one of the bolder stamps from this collection. You can see it's well loved already. And I'm going to use the lipstick red. So I'm going to ink this stamp up real well with some lipstick red. And then I'm going to stamp that right here. Look at that beautiful coverage. The thing about our inks, one of the things that you may not know about our inks is that they dry very smooth, but they are a high quality dye ink, so they dry super fast too. If you want a great video about inks, visit Jennifer McGuire's YouTube channel and click on her My Crafty Things ink pad video. She talks about her favorite inks, and she does include the Gina K Designs brand in her video, which I'm so honored and so flattered about. And she explains how different inks work in different ways and how your cardstock is as important as your ink for getting that good coverage. So check her video out. You're going to enjoy it. Okay, so now I'm going to put this bold leaf on here, and I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to stamp that right here. Ink this one and stamp it right here. And then I'm going to add the other bold leaf. There's one that faces the other direction. I love to turn the block over actually and just stamp that way. I can make sure I get good coverage. You can see where the ink is going. Put one there. And let's add one right up here. It's already getting cold out, and these bright flowers are making me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I love that. All right, so now I'm going to take this little viney. This is almost like a fern. And ink that up. We'll just add a little sprig of green right in here. Add a little bit of green right down here. And we'll put a little bit in there just to even it out. There we go. So there we have some beautiful floral foliage. Now I'm going to grab this panel, and I'm going to lay this down here just for a guide, just to kind of see where that is. And now I'm going to use this same stamp again. I'm going to ink that up real well. Now that I kind of know where that is, I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to just stamp here. I'm going to stamp down here. I'm going to stamp in the center here. Do one here, like that. And then I think I'm going to add just a little bit more right here. Okay, let me lay that down and take a look at that. Okay, Yeah, that looks pretty. All right. Then I'm going to grab my greeting stamp. And the greeting I'm going to use for this card is the thinking of you. Thinking of you is a great sentiment if just somebody maybe is having some trouble or you're just missing a friend. It's a good generic greeting to have. And I'm going to ink this one up with some of the black onyx ink. And I'm going to stamp that right down here. Okay. So now I'm going to grab that mini tape runner and I'm going to tape these two pieces together. Like that. And then this whole panel is going to go onto my black panel. And if you're trying to conserve tape, you can just do little bits of tape around. You don't have to do long strips. And that will make your tape runner last a lot longer. This is a very good quality tape. Your cards are not going to fall apart. Okay. And then this whole panel is going to go on top of my white card base. So I'm going to put that on there now. You can see I'm just putting tape in the four corners and maybe a little bit right at the top and bottom. And this panel is going to go here. And then this whole panel, this focal image, is going to go right over these leaves. Like that. And there is a beautiful card and envelope ready to send to a friend who you're thinking about. Now, if you have some things at home like colored pencils or some markers, you could fill in the centers with a marker. And I did that on another card. I want to show you. I did the same thing, but I just added a little blue in the centers here. So if you have that, you can do it. If not, maybe you like that stark white up against those bright, vibrant red flowers. That's beautiful too. You can also stamp a flower and leaves on the corner of your envelope, and that's a nice look too to finish it off. So there's lots of fun things that you can do. Now, I want to show you a couple other cards that I made using this kit, and I only used what's in the kit for these cards, except for one little thing, and I'll show you. Okay, so here's another card that I made, and I just trimmed one of the panels down a little bit on the side so that I could get almost a Venetian blind looking type thing, and I used different colors from the kit, the Blue Lagoon, the Wild Dandelion, and you can see how vibrant that ink all is on there. So that's another card option. Then I decided to do a sympathy card, and I didn't want that to be so bright and florally, so here what I did was I cut those strips down into squares, and I just mounted 3 of them on there, and I used the little smudge stamp to create a Blue Lagoon background and then stamped the foliage in black. So that makes a more serene card for a sympathy card. And then, of course, I had to do one with Wild Wisteria, so I made this one. And this one, I took the strip, and then I just chopped it off at the end with a pair of scissors. If you have a paper cutter, you can certainly do that too. And stamped Happy Birthday. And I fussy cut this one. And fussy cut means just taking a pair of scissors and cutting around the perimeter of that flower. Now, I did pop up this flower with a foam square, but if you don't have foam squares, you can just tape it right down onto those sprigs of leaves there. So that's another card project that I made. So there is a whole bunch of ideas to get you started with this kit. But now if you're a more experienced stamper and maybe you already have all of the Gina K Designs inks and you have tons of acrylic blocks and cardstock, but you really love this stamp set, we also have a limited amount of these stamp sets available by themselves. And for those of you who maybe love the kit and want the kit but want to step it up a bit, I want to show you how easy it is to take this kit to the next level. So as you can see, I made this card using just the basics of what's inside the kit. And here is a stepped up version. What I did here is I pulled some things out of my stamp room. I used a Swiss dot Cuttlebug folder to create a dotted background and then put a couple score lines around the greeting with my score pal. And then I added a little bit of elegant ribbon and some Nouveau crystal drops in the center of the flowers to give it some texture and a little pop of color. So that's a stepped up version of the Sentimental Bouquet card kit. We have a limited amount of Sentimental Bouquet card kits because when we came up with this idea, we thought that most of you would probably want to purchase these as gifts for your friends or for family members. But if you guys like this idea, we're going to order more, and we might continue to do mini kits, all based on how you guys enjoy this idea. So I hope you've enjoyed the Sentimental Bouquet mini kit, and I hope you've enjoyed today's StampTV video. Have a wonderful holiday weekend, and we'll see you back here soon at StampTV.com.